Can NATO innovate fast enough to counter Russia's growing drone threat? Days after the wail of air raid sirens and the roar of NATO fighter jets punctuated a peaceful late summer night in eastern Poland, the key question in Europe is not only whether Moscow deliberately sent nearly 24 drones into NATO airspace, but what the military response reveals about the alliance's long-term ability to deal with this growing threat. If this was, as Poland believes, a deliberate test of NATO's defenses, it was a remarkably cheap experiment for Russia. Polish authorities recovered fragments of what it said were Gerbera drones, made of plywood and styrofoam and often used as decoys. Ukraine's defense intelligence believes they cost around $10,000 each to produce. Meanwhile, the NATO planes scrambled to avert them were multi-million-dollar F-16 and F-35 fighter jets. An effective show of force, but one that probably cost tens of thousands of dollars in fuel and maintenance just to get off the ground. The cost asymmetry doesn't work, Robert Tallest, a researcher at London-based defense think tank the Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, told CNN. It's not that NATO can't counter large-scale drone attacks, he said. NATO jets were highly effective in averting a massive Iranian missile and drone attack on Israel last April. But Tallest argued the cost of such defense, estimated by Israel to be more than $1 billion in that case, makes this approach unsustainable. Pinnell, CEO of Mars, a UK-based company specializing in threat detection software and now producing its own interceptor drones, speaking to CNN at the DSEI Defense Forum in London last week. Probably a good part of the Polish border could have been covered now with a nice drone wall, he added. A drone wall is the concept of a layered network of detection and interception, an idea widely promoted among Baltic countries and backed by European Union officials Wednesday. The problem, Pinnell told CNN, is that NATO procurement systems are still in the 80s. He gave the example of Mars's medium-range AI-enabled interceptor, designed to be reusable, with a titanium frame that he described as basically a knife cutting through the incoming drone at speed. It is currently awaiting evaluation by a NATO country, expected in the next few months. They're just writing specs now for this. We're using it right now. We're in operation for years and years. We still don't in Europe. We don't have the specs for it, Pinnell told CNN, referring to the traditional procurement practice where defense ministries issue detailed technical specifications for new products, and then companies bid for contracts.